the slip of paper, whatever your doubts are, write your address. I will see everyone will get a reply. Baba's words of gospel. He got about a few tens or hundreds of papers like that. After the tour is over, after he finished Andhra tour, he went back to Mehrabad. He is asking Nigam, please tell me, where are the, I asked for my lovers to give their problems, they would have given it. What he said, I believe, was, Baba, it is true they gave me about, but before we left the camp in 2 days' time, almost everyone came back and said, give back my paper, my answer is already with me. That's what the Baba in them was so swift. When our genuine problems are there, even sometimes before we know the problem, that is why I give you a quote. Any person in any difficulty at any time thinks of me wholeheartedly, the difficulty is immediately removed. I read that quote. Many times I was asking, I don't have an answer to that quote. In a couple of days, I find the answer in his words. He says, the answer is almost in a couple of, I thought I must sleep over and all that. If you have a problem, people say, come on, let us sleep over it, tomorrow I get the answer. I really got the answer in a couple of days. He said, wait, it is related to three words which I remember. God, it's a quote, remember. I give you the infinite love to C, confront the difficulty. F, face the difficulty. O, overcome it. That means you have the inherent strength in you because of Baba. I give you the inherent strength. The question is there, how to help? You are doing it yourself, but don't think it is. If you have ego, next time you won't get a chance. I give you the inherent strength to confront. I didn't know the order, so I remember the mnemonic CFO. Confront, the first thing is to face confront the difficulty. After you confront the difficulty, you face the difficulty. After facing the difficulty is close, overcome the difficulty. CFO works for any one of us. This is a fraction of Baba's grace I deserve, because I see every one of you is so loving, so precious in our lives. This is again an opportunity to thank humbly Tampa Baba lovers, whom I have occasion to meet these 2 days. The previous time I met the Baba lovers was in one of our Baba meetings at Walnut Creek, because when we were in Walnut Creek for 9 years, and my grandchildren were in Meher school, we had about over 50 families in the neighborhood where we lived who were Baba lovers. And when I used to take my walks, having Baba books in my shoulder to repeat them, because it gives me pep to walk next step. I collected every day almost 100 Jai Babas.
Wow.
There is no output. I got an input. But when I go to Meher school, denominational, it is not, it is just a Baba place. Our exchange of ideas. Maybe every classroom has a Baba photo. But they are the Sufis, they don't, because children of all faiths come there. But when I met the teachers on the road, one of the houses has got a Baba flag in Walnut Creek. Then there is no bounce bar. Baba, they had Baba. Before I can see them, I get a Jai Baba. I am in heaven. So that was Walnut Creek, which again we have explained. Then before that we were with my grandson at Seattle for 6 weeks. I requested our Baba friends Eriko and Ladle, Heather Ladle, to tell us about Baba lovers there. She gave us the whole list of them, and we were fortunate to attend 2 Baba meetings. And one more thing. My second daughter, Niru, when she came to studies in US, 1979, she was fresh. Her family friend, who later became our husband, was based in Chicago. She got admission in St. Louis, University of Washington, for her master's degree in urban design. But she came to Chicago to be with him, and he motored her to St. Louis. So she had already arranged accommodation in advance. They motored down, arrived at St. Louis, University of Washington, late evening. There was some snafu. Accommodation not ready today. And Sanjay, my son-in-law now, had to get back. How Baba helped us. She found Baba's home in the University of Washington Dean of the Medical Institution's daughter, who was related to Eriko.
Eriko's sister.
Nadal.
Eriko's sister.
His sister was there. Her father is the dean of the institution. They said, tonight you can be in Baba's home. Next tomorrow she finds the home. Sanjay had gone when Baba forsakes never his lovers. I mean, if we have Baba's grace and we surrender to him, that's we were thrilled, because Leela and I, we were in India when they were wed. We blessed them through Baba by telephone, but Baba found a home for her first night in the US, 1979, at Baba's place. That's how we came to know Eric, Heather, and Nadal and all that. And the rest is the story has not ended. To be continued. Because his glory is ever. And I'm very happy to be with you. I must apologize for perhaps taking some more of the expected time, because I am depriving, we are depriving Leela and myself of your glorious stories. Please help us. I mean, most of the stories, some of the stories, except what we came to know, are in books. Baba stories are no secret. But occasions when we read, the stories are what appeal to people like me, the stories are grippy and can be told 1,001 times perhaps. And kindly enlighten us. We are thirsting for the soulful feed. Baba love stories.
Yeah, all of
It
you.
will fill our heart.
Yesterday only 2 of you.
I mean, see, each one is so different. Each one is so different and so marvelous. So, this is a lifetime opportunity. I'm making a request to you.
Okay.
Who wants to be on the hot seat?
Lifetime chance.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Dr. Tom, come on.
Anyway, the more the merrier.
Well, let's see.
Next.
Yeah.
I know Dr.
You
Tom,
are.
see, it might have been impertinent to ask perhaps.
No, no.
Let's see.
No,
What
it's-
Balnatu told me was this. When he asked me to write some details about our visit at Vijayawada in 54, he apparently seems to have written 3 letters when I was working at Ooty. 3 letters I never got. The 4th letter I got says, I had asked you on 3 occasions, perhaps you don't want to share. It's quite, feel free to say. It's Baba's work, there is no question of compulsion. But that letter, feel free, pricked me so much because I never got the previous letters. I thought it is Baba's mandate, picked up my information along with the photograph that is in glimpses of the photograph and sent in a registered post a letter to Balnatu. He replies here, your letter has come to me when glimpses is entering March 1954 phase. I am adding a photograph. That is Baba's timing. The 3 letters I never got. I don't know, I explained I am inability and forgiveness to master. The 4th came, but I mean why I am telling you is some of my Baba lovers, it is so precious. And even if you don't want to partake, I worship and honor you. Baba lovers is such esteem for us. If you hear, some more food for us. That's all. But otherwise, you are so precious in our lives. That's all. A chance, a fond chance like that. Tell me, doctor, please.
Well, I was raised in a Catholic family. I went to Catholic grade school and Catholic high school and Jesuit college. And towards the end of my college career, which would have been 1964, there was a big change going on in the church at the time. It was called the ecumenical movement. It was an attempt to bring a greater sense of unity to Christianity in general, and the Pope was opening up to this idea, and I think he wrote an encyclical, an ecumenical encyclical, and so there was that sense of things breaking down. The old, rigidity was breaking down, and that appealed to me. I liked it, and so I started reading liberal Catholic journals and some liberal Catholic thought, and there were some theologians around at that time, Hans Kung and others, who were getting a lot of heat from from Rome, because they were quite liberal in their thinking. Teilhard de Chardin was another one who really opened things up. So that was just as I graduated from college and entered medical school. And it's funny, those first 2 years of medical school were they were difficult, but I was preoccupied with other things. It was 64 to 66, 67. There was a lot going on in America. There were the bus rides into the South. The civil rights movement was really coming to a head. And this flower power that you mentioned last night was starting to become something really significant. And there was a sense of awakening to getting away from some of the rigidity of the 50s and the 40s. And so that was exciting, and it sort of, I'll say that it took my mind off my studies, but it was really probably, just laziness on my part. But also, I must have been searching or looking. I carried a Bible around with me periodically. I started reading it. Catholics don't read the Bible much. In Protestant religions they do. But anyway, I started reading the Bible, thinking I might find something there that, and it was okay. But but I don't know. Maybe I felt that it was the truth. The words didn't come together in my heart the way that I wasn't fully excited by it. And so I continued. I had difficulty in my second year. I had to repeat my second year in medical school. And as a consequence of that, I went to the University of Michigan. This, by the way, medical school was in Albany, New York, and I grew up in New York State. And this summer, in Michigan. It was at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And it was originally to take some makeup courses, but because I had to repeat the year anyway, I didn't take any makeup courses. And I decided to explore more on my own. So I was, the university had a policy where you could sit in on classes if you wanted to. You didn't have to register or pay if you weren't going to take a test or take it for credit, so I could do that, and that was interesting. And they had a Department of Religious Studies there, and it had its own library. And I don't know, I was drawn to go there, and it was there that I found a couple of books that were what I needed to hear. One was on situation ethics, and the other one was entitled Honest to God. They were both written by Protestant theologians, I think. And it just opened up my sense of, it expanded the notions of God that I'd learned of in Christianity, and it broke down a lot of the barriers of the do's and don'ts in terms of sin and all of that. And it was just kind of like clean the slate. It was just the most wonderful feeling. So I came back to medical school, and I just felt revitalized in a sense, and finished out the 4 years. Well, this would have been 5 years with the repeat. And then I decided that I'd get a smattering of psychiatry. And when you do your internship year, you can rotate through different specialties or subspecialties. If you're interested in pediatrics, you can have like a 6-month rotation in pediatrics and then do, you know, internal medicine and surgery and a few other things. Well, I picked what they call a rotating psychiatric internship. So I had 3 to 6 months of psychiatry. And the internship year starts on July 1st, all throughout the country. And it's for the period of 1 year. And so I started in psychiatry. And so it had been July of '69. And probably maybe 4 weeks into it, maybe less, a new person joined the staff. He was a psychologist. His name was Ken Lux. And I didn't even know he was there until, you know, one day I was just doing a little charting, and then this face peers over my shoulder and kind of looks at me and says, "Hi, I'm Ken. I'd like to get to know you. Let's sit down and talk sometime." So I said, "Sure." And this was a locked psychiatric ward. There were really seriously sick people, bad schizophrenia. And we had offices there. So one night, probably in August, I was alone in the office and just kind of finishing up, and Ken walks in. And he says, "Let's just talk." And I said, "Great." And I was excited about a lot of things that was happening then. There was the encounter group movement in psychology was going on. There were a lot of new names in psychology. Physics was exploding with new theories that were just, you know, breaking down barriers. It was a tremendous time of, you know, ferment and openness. And the music was fantastic. I mean, all these groups coming out of San Francisco and Britain. It was a wonderful time. And Ken said, "Well, you know, we talked a little bit about some of this new psychology, this humanistic psychology." And then he said, "Did you ever hear the Moody Blues?" And I said, "Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them." He said, "Oh, great, wonderful. Knights in White Satin, did you ever hear that record?" I said, No, I never heard of it." So anyway, turns out we had, you know, a lot that we were mutually interested in. So he says, "Well, let's go get something to eat." So this would be August of '69, and there was a famous Jewish delicatessen in Albany called Joe's, a real Jewish delicatessen. And everybody from the hospital went there, the interns, the residents, the nursing staff. I mean, it was just one of those very special places. never been in anyone as good since. So we sat down, small little tables, and we had ordered, and I was having my sandwich, and Ken, I mean, the table was only about that wide, you know, and Ken wore glasses, and he had bright blue eyes, and he just kind of went, you know, I'm eating my sandwich, and he says, "Have you ever heard of the word avatar?" And I said, "No, I've never heard of that." And he said, "It means descent of God into human form. Mayor Baba says he is the avatar of this age, and that God comes not once, but periodically through history. There's Zoroaster, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Christ, and now is Mayor Baba, Muhammad too." And I just sat there and I'm thinking, yeah. That's how it works, isn't it? You know, I mean, this is what's quietly going through my head. That's how it.
Baba has his own ways to entrap you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I've been through a lot of struggle up to that
I
point,
know,
you know.
that's right. But anyway, I mean, it is Baba works mysterious ways, but he knew the master is ready and he got the people. But one thing I had to tell you, I am also entrapped because he was my Baba's doctor at Pilgrim Center.
Yeah.
Here's the entrapment right here. These two.
I mean,
So
it's so
anyway,
mysterious. No
Yeah.
escape if our karma is like that. All roads will be there. And
all I can say is I'm eternally grateful.
one thing I found with some of the Baba lovers whom I met, my first contact with Baba lovers in the US was in '84 when my daughter was working at Naperville as a chief planner for the city of Naperville near Chicago. We came to know there is a Baba Center in Chicago and we made an appeal. Could we attend Baba meetings? That is, we are otherwise in a desert. We don't know. We know Baba is part of America. We don't know where. And we got an address. And we had a Baba lover, quick as anything, as only Baba could have willed it. We got a letter pronto by Jack Palmer of the visiting place in Chicago. We want to share with you like that. The next is we asked Nirup to take us and we met him like that in 1984. And we found that Baba love prevails everywhere in the US. And every person has got a different marvelous story to tell. It was also a coincidence. I met Jack Palmer at Georgia at the Southeast Gallery, and later met him when he was attached to the Myrtle Beach Center. How time flies. I thought you were in Chicago. No, I am here. Then I see them. You are here. Yes. Baba face is mysterious, but he never.
Mark Palmer?
Pardon me? Mark Palmer.
Mark
I made a
Palmer.
mistake.
Yeah.
Mark Palmer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm
The
thinking
last I met him was at Myrtle Beach. So that is what is called entrapment. No escape.
Tom can tell you the story of our whole group if you want. Tom can tell you the story of our whole group if you want.
Please, see, it is an appeal, please, but it's a question of
Well,
if there is what is called vibration, you will help us. You will otherwise be honored. You sometimes, like Baba, your silence speaks better than words, perhaps. If you don't want, okay, we know you are Baba lover, we are part of you, accept as a family, that's enough. So many, see, there are so many things. And another thing, there is also what is called in his time. People open up only when Baba orders them to do that. So, wait for better luck next time. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Doctor, I want to ask you one question. Because I heard this Baba's photograph is there in all the psychiatric rehab program, wherever they have this clinic, there is a Baba's photograph. Is it true? Because I've seen in one of the movies.
Which clinic is this?
I have no idea.
Oh. No, there wasn't any Baba photograph where I was training,
Oh.
where I trained in
In all
Albany, New
the
York.
psychiatric clinic, rehab clinic, they have a photograph of Baba throughout the country.
Which
And
country?
in one of the English movies, as a Western movies,
Oh.
actually they showed it. It's 10 years back or so.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So what happened
Baba.
after you heard about the avatar?
Well, that just started I mean, so Ken said that, and I went, yeah, boy, that sounds, I mean, so many things came at once,
Yeah.
you know, because I had been thinking that, I believed that Christ was the Son of God, but I had put all that on the shelf, and I said, I'm just gonna stop thinking about all this stuff. You know, I've had enough. And then Baba came.
You were looking for an answer.
And I was looking for the
there it
answer,
was.
and there it was.
What happened after that is he tried to tell his father about Meher Baba.
Yeah, that was the contact.
Well, he tried to tell our dad about
That's,
God being on earth, and I remember walking past the dining room table while this was going on. And my father, who was a devout, honest Catholic,
Okay.
was accepting something of what Tom was saying, and I knew that this conversation wasn't for me. So I went out the door. But coming to Florida, driving south from New York to Florida in Tom's Alfa Romeo sports car,
I had one.
Tom hands me the universal message and says, "You'd be interested in this man."
oh,
And while I was reading it, a voice was reading, but not my reading voice. It was a different voice.
Yes.
You know, I have come, you know. So that got my attention, and then Tom gave me the Advancing Stream of Life paperback.
stick.
And that's it. From then on, it's been reading books and
I should consider at homage to Baba. Most of your stories make me little jealous. You come to Baba
without
because you see, they used to say, I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, it is in certain mythology, it's a mythology one. We have God, there is a person who has sinned, okay, and the redemption, you were given two choices. You are a good man, but you have fallen into evil ways. Nobody is evil all the time. You can get back to God, but choose one of the two options. One of the two options is you lead 10 honorable lives, no doubt. That is your karma, and you come back to God. Okay. Option is you be having problems in 3 lives and come back to God. The person chooses, I want only 3 lives. Because 10 lives, you remember how long it will take. I have already suffered for my mistake. I don't mind if I am bad. That is the way He pulls me to God. You are a wonder. I mean, those who come the hard way. See, that's why Iraj used to say, do not mention unless somebody asks you. That even my grandfather. Whenever we are with any Baba, any pray person, they never say we are Baba lovers. Because the connection, as our Mani told us in 85 in Mandali Hall, Mehrazad. Remember Kasthuri, I have written it in that book. The connection is between the one, who is the overlord, and the individual soul, which is the person to whom the attraction comes automatically. So, don't think you are a Baba agent. Why? If you think you want to tell about Baba without because when they say when the pupil is ready, Baba is ready. And we are only the interlopers. We have no business to be like that. So, we have found that the ways each one approach to Baba is so very difficult and mysterious, and it shows the fire of your desire, which was only latent, became patent. That is his way. Each one is so different, but all roads lead to Rome. That I know, we are all in, I'm just saying, that's a good phrase to use. All roads actually should lead to individual, because Baba is in you. I won't even say this way. Everybody comes to Baba at the appointed time, and no one is in, because no one is any way deserving of Baba unless Baba has come to our heart. And that's why I see the significance of Viraj. Bow down to the Baba in every Baba lover. When you know they are Baba lovers, the first thing is, because I had some, perhaps you thought I didn't say that, I only told, to keep me from mischief. If I have my ego, I won't think Baba is in you. Then there is an avenue of going astray. Suppose and I am in Baba presence, I am talking to you. I am talking to you with the full resolve that I am seeing Baba in you. I will not talk, I will not hear, I will not say anything which I will not do in the presence of our Master. There is no person inferior or superior among humanity. We are all Baba, seekers of Baba's love, and we are happy to be under his umbrella or his net, like he says. Baba says once you get into the net, you can't escape. Even a mosquito cannot get into the net, he has said in places. They will complain. That's what. Will thoughts of anger, lust and greed come uppermost in your mind? For that he says nobody is a story. You are human. Think of me, take my name at once. But don't put your thoughts into action. Let my name act as a net around you. Then we are in heaven. Otherwise I feel I am in perdition. Not that we have seen this fellow, that fellow, I feel like that. But I am so happy that I am alive to be with you all. That's a chance. And I am so happy that she is with me, because half the time I go into a tangent this way and that way, and she is an anchor, because Baba told me she is with you, right? And Adi emphasized, do you remember what Baba says in his last letter to her? It is already in the book, it's already
You need it?
that's 52. I give you my love to you and all whom you love, because he said to Leela, which is very difficult for me to understand. She has affection towards the whole world, affection towards everyone. She has attachments towards none.
Wow.
I got it, sir.
There's some.
Wow.
I mean, that's how you should be. But I am so frail. I got what I call logic. My daughter, my son, my grandson, my this one, but my Baba. Even that you say, if I see Baba in you, I become chastened, because I respect Baba, I respect you. So, I am getting wiser by the minute. But have no enmity. Because Baba says, learn to love me, a quote. Learn to love me by loving those whom you cannot love. If I talk only, no doubt I can plead guilty to getting frights of this anger and all that. But by grace of God, I regain sanity before it is too late. I mean, if I really lose sanity, I have told her also, I am so unfit that Baba has given you to me, because, but for the chastening
57
mood.
years. Now it's too late.
Oh.
That's it.
No, my tantrums are not, I mean, nothing happens more than a minute, but even a minute of anger is dangerous. She has withstood all the fire of that. If she was not Baba's child like that, either she would have gone mad or committed suicide. I chasten myself every day. It works for me because it trims my ego if I have it and puts me in the lap of God to guide me any day in my life. And that is also a good reason I am alive, otherwise I can't meet you. All boils down to be in the company of wonderful, precious Baba. And Edith told me, I used to call Baba love. I am in Baba love. Oh, say you are in Baba family of lovers. You are Baba family. I know Baba, my birth family is something. My Baba's love family is something else. And love transcends anything. If it is simple and pure. And how much multivitamin, multi-mineral invigoration because of all of you. I have to be grateful for all of you for keeping me away from normal doctors. If people like me were there and start stuff. That is a bit also. I mean, when I talk like little frivolous, I am giving a Baba quote, which is very vital for me. It's a quote. That is daydreaming I was doing. I do this, that, window shopping. The next best to buying is window shopping. Grandfather told me never be in debt. Till today, not a red cent in debt. Correct. But I want the moon, but do I need it? No. So Baba gives a statement. I have a question, Baba has an answer. And that answer satisfies me because a little inflation in my ego. He says, I will quote now. This is a quote. Do not say it is in the book. Verify whether I am right or wrong. And impeach me if I am wrong. Do not say it is not spiritual to enjoy innocent pleasures. It is a quote. I mean, innocent pleasures means I am not hurting anybody, I am not demeaning, I am not blaming anybody, which is worse than anything else. But, oh yes. But some of these dreams came true because I wanted to be with all of you. I have come. So I am happy that Baba has got answers to all my dumb questions. So much life. I like that book by our Baba lover of who is now retired as a chief engineer and worked at the last phases of his life. Baba brought him from where he was working in South India in a central service to the Ahmednagar zone. And he was, by Baba's grace, helpful in the renovation of Pimpalgan, Meherazad. And now he has settled and he has written a book, Much Love. That is the title of the book. It is not very voluminous. It is a paperback. I'm not sure about the later edition. It is out of it. I'm trying to get a copy somehow. Baba willing, I have promised to give the copy to Pam and Danny and your group. It will be done. There are two things I promised. No doubt putting Baba in front of me. I promised no. And I hope he will make me fulfill it before I pass on. One is this Much Love by Ramanujam, which is so important because they have taken so much of it. Contains an appendix of glossary, reference, about 40 pages of reference. So you know how much of material has been collected in the compilation of the book. That is one. The other one is the part joke book by our Baba lover, Dake Palkar. Some of you might have read. Yeah. He was Baba's jester, he was a pleader, he defied Baba before he came to him. The joke, he's passing on the road, he sees Baba, I hear he is a master, let me try him. And see, everybody comes with what is called the hard way, which at the end is bliss. He said, yes, what are you? He asked, I'm a teacher. I got he had a, what is that Baba school he had at
Arangam.
Huh?
Arangam?
No, some school.
Arangam.
I want to teach you.
The Prem Ashram?
Premashram.
Premashram.
Correct. See, I was asking, will you come? This gentleman, who is ultimately one of the wonderful Baba lovers, said, I have heard about you. I heard you are a taskmaster. All your, you have your mandali who are with you under threat of fear. I hear you beat them. Oh, no tricks like that for me. If I want to join you, I have my own, I'll be a teacher, I'll have my own way. If you agree, I will. Then he says, the Baba says, use a slate, write your conditions. And 3 or 4 I remember. First he says, as you promise, you must leave me, I won't follow any of your rules. No written rules will apply to me. Secondly, I will do my duty, but I will take no beating or other things like that. No tricks with me too. Third, she was getting about 100 rupees, I was told. I will come if I get say 3, I'm not sure of the money, inflated. I will come if I get 300 rupees and something like that, some blah blah. As soon as he wrote in the slate, he gives it to our master. Master doesn't see it at all and said, granted. He did not see what is written, he said, granted. I mean, he took him unawares. And he said, this is something dangerous ground I am. I tried to fool my master, somebody is not accepted. Then he said, we are now under vacation, join me on a particular date. And true to him, as it's all started Baba's divine feeling, he joined on that particular day. The day Baba asked him to come was a holiday. And Baba said, I'm glad I asked you to come in a holiday. I didn't anticipate that. Tomorrow you start your work, get ready. What you wanted, here is the accommodation, here is this, here is that, here is your pay. He was thinking, I wanted to stump someone, even then for quite a time, because he was a follower of some Hindu god, whatever, Krishna maybe, I'm not sure. Then he was allotted some work. Next day he joined, he was teaching the Prema Ashram. The rule was the teachers had to take their lunch or breakfast apart from the women members. They were segregated. He used to go, he didn't know or something, he was taking that there. Then one of our members, see, this is not acceptable. Baba, who is Baba to give me orders? I got permission to do as I like. I accepted on that basis. All that by conveyed to Baba, he's laughing all the time. He knows ultimately he is my wonderful lover. So after by the hard way, each and every step, Baba arranged for his marriage, he arranged everything, so many ways. He called him his jester, he will call him, any problem, come and say something. That is, he is the one who started the quarrel. Are humans destined to be vegetarians or non-vegetarians? The opponent was Dr. Abdul Ghani Munshi, Baba's classmate. He will initiate quarrels between the lovers and say, go on. He will ask the third person, come on, add fuel to the fire. And no doubt, in the end, they shake hands. I mean, they are Baba lovers, they cannot be anything else. That person has written later on, knowing Baba is God, he was appointed official advocate for Baba in all the legal matters. There were problems in legal matters in accommodation and other places. Baba used to send him in complex cases because he is Baba's man. Everything happened for them. I mean, Baba is the initiator, the things happen. But normally, he puts him in situations where there will be no problem. He's a kind disciplinarian, but a wonderful God. So that is the other book. I don't know the title of the book. It is just like our Adi's book, or it also happened, something like that. It comes either Adi, senior, or Iraj, or I don't know. They all written stories of Baba. You would have read so. Like that is one of his books. Plenty of stories involving how he came to Baba the hard way, and Baba ultimately made him realize that is the best way. I saw these two books. I promised to send you.
Good.
Only thing, one I am sure of sending immediately, because I know my sister has it. We get a copy. The other one, much low, I am not sure. But if Baba is behind me in my appeal, that also will happen. It won't take long, I hope. Baba willing.
Yeah.
I should have said that first, and then I will. That's it.
Yeah.
So wonderful it was. And she is there to tell me, she already has reminded me the source to look for the book. I didn't know where to look for immediately. My sister we had the Meher Ashram libraries there. We have the whole lot of books. All of us can't afford to have every copy of the book. I mean, they are in a place. And one thing is, I can ask her to lend me the book, because I don't have either copy. And when she lends me, by Baba's grace like that, I get a Xerox, and within 10 days it will be air mailed to you. Promise, my God.
Thank you. Jai Baba.
What the-
Thank you, sir.
I shall never forget my Baba doctor. The last day of my pilgrim center, I was severe cough and cold. My throat really got
You had
mashed up.
temperature.
Hmm?
When
I
you
did,
go down in Madras, he had
Baba sent
temperature.
him as
Oh, really?
a savior
Gave
at that time.
antibiotic.
I was able to get back to Madras.
You've been uniform.
See, no doubt after that I had 3 days of viral fever. That's an aftermath. Things go smooth at the end of it, but Baba gives trial and error. But I had my Baba's agent on the spot at that time. I never knew that he will be there when I am going to be at the Pilgrim Center, except that our Pam and Daddy told me our doctor will be there on duty during that 2 months or perhaps, something like that. Connection was Baba's. The bliss was mine. Something is very, very nice.
See, I get the
Pardon
blessing.
me?
I get the blessing because Baba sends these
I know, but one thing.
these magnificent lovers like you
See,
and
I'll
Mr.
tell you one
Karadia
more.
and others to me, and it's like,
Doctor,
wow.
I will tell you a familiar quotation, which is sometimes unpalatable, but is true. You used to hear. It says like this. Doctor, God and doctor. You know that.
Oh yeah,
know
doctors
that?
think they're God. Yeah.
God